Marcos was a hard-working black man facing the daily grind of life in his bustling city. He worked tirelessly as a mechanic in a small local garage, juggling his job with the struggles of making ends meet. His days were long and filled with the challenging realities of his modest position, but Marcos always held on to a belief in the power of kindness. Despite his hardships, he never lost his optimism, believing that good deeds would eventually lead to good fortune. One rainy afternoon, after a particularly grueling day at work, Marcos was heading home on foot. The city was drenched, and the streets were slick with rain. As he trudged along, his thoughts were occupied with the usual concerns about bills and his dream of one day opening his own workshop. His hopes were often tempered by the reality of his financial struggles and the frequent rejections he faced in his job search. As he walked, Marcos noticed a car parked on the side of the road with its hood up. The driver, a white man in his 50s, looked distressed and was struggling to fix what seemed to be a mechanical issue. The sight of the man trying unsuccessfully to repair the car tugged at Marcos's heartstrings. He knew that the driver was likely facing a tough situation, and he felt compelled to help. Marcos approached the car and offered assistance. The man, named Ricardo, was initially hesitant, but quickly realized that Marcos had the skills to resolve the issue. With a few deft moves and a knowledgeable touch, Marcos identified the problem and made the necessary repairs. Ricardo was visibly relieved and grateful for the unexpected help. As they talked, Ricardo shared a bit about his life and work, but Marcos remained focused on the task at hand, not thinking much about the man's background. After the car was fixed, Ricardo offered to give Marcos a ride, but Marcos, feeling that he had already received enough from the situation, politely declined. He preferred to continue his walk, reflecting on the act of kindness he had just performed. Ricardo, however, insisted on expressing his gratitude. He thanked Marcos repeatedly, acknowledging the relief and assistance he had received. Marcos, with his usual humility, simply smiled and waved goodbye. The interaction ended on a positive note, with both men parting ways, unaware of how significant this seemingly minor encounter would become. Marcos continued his journey home, feeling good about his decision to help a stranger in need. It was moments like these that reinforced his belief in the value of kindness, even when he was struggling himself. Little did he know, this act of generosity was about to set in motion a series of events that would drastically alter the course of his life. As time went on, Marcos continued to work at the garage, his days blending into a routine of repairing cars and managing his modest income. The financial strain was constant, but he found satisfaction in his work and the small successes that came with each repair. Despite his challenges, Marcos kept his dream of one day opening his own workshop alive. He saved diligently, hoping that one day his hard work would pay off. Ricardo, on the other hand, returned to his busy life as the CEO of a successful company. While the memory of Marcos's kindness lingered in his mind, the demands of his role often overshadowed it. His company, known for its innovative tech solutions, was facing several financial challenges. The market was shifting, and the company's growth had stalled. Ricardo was deeply engrossed in finding solutions to these problems, but the memory of the mechanic who had helped him began to resurface more frequently. In the midst of his busy schedule, Ricardo found himself reflecting on the simple act of kindness that Marcos had shown him. He remembered the rain-soaked day when the mechanic had stopped to help a stranger in need, and how Marcos had never asked for anything in return. Ricardo began to appreciate the rarity of such selflessness in a world often driven by self-interest. This realization stirred something within him, a sense of gratitude and a desire to give back. As the financial situation of Ricardo's company worsened, he sought advice from various consultants and experts. Despite their best efforts, the company's fortunes didn't seem to improve. During one of these consultations, Ricardo was reminded of the importance of strong, reliable partnerships and innovative thinking. He remembered how Marcos, though just a mechanic, had demonstrated these very qualities through his skilled work and willingness to help. One evening, after a particularly grueling day of meetings and strategic planning, Ricardo decided to revisit the memory of Marcos. He recalled the exact location where the car had broken down and the name of the mechanic. Using his resources, he started searching for Marcos, hoping to find him and perhaps offer some form of recognition or reward. Ricardo's search was not straightforward. Despite his position and influence, locating an ordinary mechanic in a sprawling city proved challenging. He reached out to local business networks and used social media to try and track Marcos down. Ricardo's persistence was driven by a genuine desire to repay the kindness he had received, as well as a sense of obligation to do something meaningful with his success. Weeks passed, and Ricardo's efforts to find Marcos continued. He faced setbacks and frustrations, but remained determined. The more he learned about Marcos's situation, the more he realized the impact of his own search. He had begun to see the mechanic not just as someone who helped him on a rainy day, but as a symbol of the values he admired: dedication, humility, and a strong work ethic. Finally, Ricardo received a lead on Marcos's whereabouts. It was a small breakthrough that reignited his hope. He arranged a meeting to speak with Marcos, planning to discuss how he could express his gratitude and possibly offer assistance. Ricardo was eager to see how he could make a difference in Marcos's life, knowing that this act of kindness could change both of their futures. When Ricardo finally tracked down Marcos, he was eager to make the meeting count. He had arranged a quiet lunch at a small, unassuming cafe, hoping to speak with Marcos privately and in a setting that would allow for an honest conversation. Marcos was surprised when he received the invitation. He had no idea why a businessman would be interested in meeting him, especially after all this time. On the day of the meeting, Marcos arrived at the cafe, dressed in his usual work clothes. He was puzzled and a bit apprehensive, but curious about the purpose of the encounter. Ricardo, dressed in a sharp suit, was waiting at a table near the back, looking both professional and approachable. As soon as Marcos entered, Ricardo stood up with a warm smile and extended his hand in greeting. "Marcos, it's so nice to finally meet you in person," Ricardo said. "I'm Ricardo. We met a while back when you helped me with my car." Marcos shook Ricardo's hand and took a seat, still trying to piece together why Ricardo wanted to meet him. Ricardo began to recount their previous encounter, detailing the rainy day, the broken-down car, and the kindness that Marcos had shown. As Ricardo spoke, Marcos began to remember the day and the man he had helped. "I remember that day clearly," Ricardo continued. "You helped me without asking for anything in return. Your kindness stayed with me, and I've been thinking a lot about it recently." Marcos listened attentively, feeling a mix of curiosity and confusion. He appreciated Ricardo's kind words, but was unsure of the significance of this meeting. Ricardo then revealed the purpose of their meeting. He wanted to express his gratitude in a meaningful way. "I've been reflecting on how rare it is to encounter someone who acts out of pure kindness," Ricardo said. "In my line of work, I've seen many people motivated by personal gain. Your selflessness was refreshing and inspiring." Ricardo then explained that his company had been struggling and that he had been searching for innovative ways to turn things around. He mentioned that he admired Marcos's skills and work ethic, qualities that could potentially benefit his company. Ricardo was interested in discussing a possible opportunity for Marcos to collaborate with his company in some capacity. Marcos was taken aback. He had never imagined that his simple act of kindness could lead to such an opportunity. Ricardo explained that the company was exploring new projects and needed someone with practical, hands-on experience. He saw potential in Marcos's skills and offered to discuss how they might work together. The conversation took an unexpected turn as Ricardo outlined a proposal. He wanted to offer Marcos a role that would allow him to contribute his expertise while also providing him with a substantial financial reward. Marcos was overwhelmed and felt a mix of disbelief and excitement. The opportunity seemed almost too good to be true. Ricardo assured Marcos that the offer was genuine and that he had been deeply moved by Marcos's actions. He wanted to give back and help someone who had shown such integrity and kindness. The meeting concluded with a sense of optimism and anticipation. Marcos left the cafe with a newfound hope, realizing that this unexpected twist in his life could be the break he had been waiting for. As Marcos walked away from the cafe, he reflected on the surprising turn of events. He was excited and grateful, but also cautious about the future. The opportunity presented by Ricardo could change everything, and Marcos was eager to see where this new path might lead. Marcos began the next few weeks with a mix of excitement and apprehension. The meeting with Ricardo had left him hopeful, but also uncertain about what lay ahead. He knew that this opportunity could be the breakthrough he had been waiting for, but he also wanted to ensure that it was genuine and would truly benefit his future. Ricardo's proposal was intriguing. He had suggested that Marcos join his company on a part-time basis, offering his mechanical expertise to help with some new projects the company was launching. The role would not only provide Marcos with a decent salary, but also introduce him to a network of professionals and potential investors who could support his long-standing dream of opening his own workshop. Marcos took some time to weigh his options. He continued working at the garage, but his mind was often preoccupied with the potential of the new role. He talked with close friends and family, seeking their advice and trying to gauge their reactions. While many were supportive and encouraged him to seize the opportunity, others cautioned him to be careful and ensure that the offer was legitimate. One of Marcos's close friends, Carla, who worked in finance, suggested that he consult with a legal advisor to review any agreements before committing. Marcos took her advice seriously and reached out to a lawyer who could review the details of Ricardo's offer. The lawyer confirmed that the offer was indeed genuine and that the terms were fair. This validation gave Marcos some peace of mind. Marcos also spent time preparing for his new role. He researched Ricardo's company, learning more about its projects and objectives. He was impressed by the company's commitment to innovation and its strong market presence. The more he learned, the more excited he became about the potential to contribute to the company's success while gaining valuable experience. Before officially starting the new role, Ricardo arranged for Marcos to visit the company's headquarters. This visit was an opportunity for Marcos to meet the team, understand the work environment, and see where he would fit into the projects. The company's office was sleek and modern, a stark contrast to the small garage where Marcos worked. He was introduced to key members of the team and given a tour of the facilities. The professionalism and enthusiasm of the staff impressed him, and he felt a sense of anticipation about the possibilities that lay ahead. During the visit, Ricardo took the time to discuss the specifics of Marcos's role. He explained that Marcos would be working on a new initiative that involved developing innovative mechanical solutions for their tech products. This role would leverage Marcos's skills and offer him a chance to make a significant impact. Marcos left the company's headquarters with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He was eager to start, but also wanted to ensure that he would be able to balance this new role with his existing job at the garage. He spoke with Ricardo about his concerns, and Ricardo assured him that the company was flexible and would work with him to accommodate his schedule. As the start date for the new role approached, Marcos felt a growing sense of optimism. He was ready to embrace this new chapter in his life and was determined to make the most of the opportunity. The chance to work with Ricardo's company was a dream come true, and Marcos was motivated to prove himself and contribute to the company's success. The weeks leading up to the start of the new role were filled with preparation and anticipation. Marcos was determined to enter this new phase of his life with a positive attitude and a commitment to achieving his goals. The promise of new beginnings and the potential for personal and professional growth fueled his enthusiasm, and he looked forward to the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. As Marcos began his new role with Ricardo's company, he quickly found himself immersed in an environment that was both challenging and invigorating. The initial days were a whirlwind of introductions, meetings, and adjustments as he settled into his new position. Despite his excitement, Marcos had to navigate a learning curve, balancing his responsibilities at the garage with his new role. Ricardo ensured that Marcos was integrated smoothly into the team. He introduced Marcos to his colleagues, who were enthusiastic and supportive. Marcos met with the project managers, engineers, and other key staff members who would be collaborating with him. The team welcomed him warmly, and their eagerness to work together helped Marcos feel at ease. One of the first projects Marcos was assigned to involved designing a new mechanical component for one of the company's flagship products. It was a complex task, requiring both technical expertise and creative problem solving. Marcos approached the challenge with determination, leveraging his years of hands-on experience to contribute valuable insights. In the early stages of the project, Marcos worked closely with a senior engineer named Laura. Laura was an experienced and knowledgeable professional who took Marcos under her wing. She provided guidance and feedback, helping him navigate the intricacies of the project. Marcos appreciated her mentorship and was eager to learn from her expertise. The project presented several technical challenges, but Marcos was motivated to overcome them. He spent long hours researching, experimenting, and refining his designs. His dedication and hard work did not go unnoticed. Ricardo and the rest of the team were impressed by Marcos's commitment and the quality of his contributions. As the project progressed, Marcos began to see the tangible results of his efforts. The mechanical component he had helped design was successfully integrated into the company's product line, receiving positive feedback from both internal reviewers and potential clients. The success of the project was a significant boost to Marcos's confidence and affirmed his belief in his own abilities. In addition to his work on the project, Marcos also started to build relationships within the company. He participated in team meetings, brainstorming sessions, and social events, gradually becoming a valued member of the team. His positive attitude and willingness to collaborate made him well-liked among his colleagues. Ricardo continued to be a supportive mentor, providing Marcos with opportunities to take on more responsibility and showcase his skills. He encouraged Marcos to share his ideas and contribute to the company's strategic discussions. Marcos was grateful for Ricardo's ongoing support and guidance, which helped him navigate the complexities of his new role. Despite the success in his new position, Marcos faced the challenge of managing his time effectively. Balancing his responsibilities at the garage with his new role required careful planning and organization. Marcos worked hard to ensure that he could meet his commitments in both areas, often staying late at the garage to complete his shifts before heading to the company. The dual workload was demanding, but Marcos was determined to make the most of his opportunity. He knew that his hard work and dedication were crucial to achieving his long-term goals. The experience at Ricardo's company was not only providing him with valuable professional growth, but also reinforcing his belief in the power of perseverance. As the months went by, Marcos continued to excel in his role at the company. His contributions were recognized, and he received positive performance reviews. The experience was helping him build a solid foundation for his future, and he felt a growing sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. Marcos was also starting to see the impact of his work on his personal aspirations. The experience and connections he was gaining at the company were bringing him closer to realizing his dream of opening his own workshop. The support and encouragement he received from Ricardo and the team were invaluable, and Marcos was increasingly confident about the possibilities that lay ahead. As Marcos settled into his new role at Ricardo's company, he found himself increasingly engaged and motivated. The initial excitement of starting a new job had evolved into a deep commitment to his work and the realization of how much this opportunity was transforming his life. Ricardo's company was experiencing positive developments, and Marcos's contributions played a significant part in this success. The project he had worked on, involving the design of a new mechanical component, had become a major selling point for the company. This achievement was not just a personal victory for Marcos, but also a key milestone for the company, which saw a marked increase in interest from potential clients and partners. With the success of the project, Marcos's role within the company expanded. He was given more responsibilities and started leading smaller teams on various tasks. This new responsibility was both challenging and rewarding. Marcos had to juggle multiple tasks, manage team dynamics, and ensure that deadlines were met, all while continuing to handle his duties at the garage. Despite the growing demands of his role, Marcos maintained a disciplined routine. He continued to work at the garage during the day, often putting in extra hours to handle repairs and meet his commitments. In the evenings, he would head to the company, where he immersed himself in project meetings, design reviews, and team collaborations. This rigorous schedule tested his resilience, but he was driven by the vision of achieving his long-term goals. Marcos's efforts did not go unnoticed. Ricardo frequently praised him for his dedication and the quality of his work. He also involved Marcos in strategic planning meetings, allowing him to contribute ideas and offer insights on the company's future direction. This involvement in high-level discussions was a significant step forward for Marcos, providing him with a broader perspective on business operations and management. One particular project that Marcos was involved in was a collaborative effort to develop a new prototype for an innovative piece of machinery. This project required extensive research and development, and Marcos played a pivotal role in designing and testing the prototype. The project was complex, demanding both technical expertise and creative problem-solving skills. Marcos worked closely with various departments, including engineering, design, and marketing, to ensure that the prototype met all requirements. The process was intense, with frequent meetings and tight deadlines. Marcos often found himself working late into the night, ensuring that every detail was perfect. His commitment to the project was unwavering, and he was determined to see it through to completion. As the prototype neared completion, Ricardo organized a presentation for potential investors and clients. The goal was to showcase the new product and generate interest in the company's innovative solutions. Marcos was invited to be a key presenter, a role that filled him with both pride and nervousness. The presentation was a crucial opportunity to demonstrate the value of the work he had contributed to. The day of the presentation arrived, and Marcos was well prepared. He presented the prototype with confidence, explaining its features, benefits, and the research that had gone into its development. The presentation was a success, and the feedback from the audience was overwhelmingly positive. The prototype received significant interest, and several potential partnerships were established as a result. The success of the presentation was a turning point for Marcos. It validated his hard work and reinforced his belief in his own abilities. Ricardo and the company's leadership team were impressed with Marcos's performance, and his role within the company continued to grow. As Marcos reflected on his journey, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The challenges he had faced and the hard work he had put in were paying off. The experience at Ricardo's company was not only providing him with professional growth, but also bringing him closer to realizing his dream of opening his own workshop. Marcos's progress was a testament to his perseverance and the opportunities that had come his way. He was excited about the future and eager to continue making meaningful contributions. The support and recognition he received from Ricardo and the team were invaluable, and Marcos was determined to leverage these experiences to achieve even greater success in the years to come. As the months went by, Marcos continued to excel in his role at Ricardo's company. His contributions to various projects solidified his reputation as a valuable team member, and he increasingly took on leadership roles. The experience was enriching and opened doors for him in ways he hadn't anticipated. One of the most significant developments in Marcos's career came when Ricardo approached him with an exciting new opportunity. The company was planning to expand its operations and explore new markets, and Ricardo wanted Marcos to lead a new initiative focused on integrating advanced mechanical solutions into their product line. This role would involve not only managing a team, but also driving innovation and strategic planning. Marcos was thrilled by the opportunity. It was a chance to showcase his skills on a larger scale and have a direct impact on the company's growth. However, the new role also came with its own set of challenges. Marcos would need to balance his increased responsibilities at the company with his ongoing work at the garage, which meant a significant adjustment in his schedule and priorities. To prepare for the new role, Marcos spent time researching the latest trends in mechanical technology and strategizing how to incorporate these advancements into the company's products. He attended industry conferences, engaged with experts, and kept abreast of technological innovations. This preparation helped him develop a clear vision for the new initiative. Marcos's leadership role involved assembling and managing a team dedicated to the new project. He carefully selected individuals with complementary skills and experience, ensuring that the team was well-rounded and capable of tackling the project's challenges. Marcos focused on fostering a collaborative and innovative environment, encouraging team members to share their ideas and contribute to the project's success. As the project progressed, Marcos encountered several obstacles. The integration of advanced technology into the product line presented technical and logistical challenges. The team faced issues with prototype testing, design modifications, and coordinating with external partners. Despite these difficulties, Marcos remained steadfast and worked tirelessly to find solutions. He organized regular meetings to address problems, brainstorm solutions, and keep the project on track. The long hours and hard work began to take a toll on Marcos. Balancing his responsibilities at the garage with the demands of his new role at the company was increasingly strenuous. However, the support from Ricardo and his team provided encouragement and motivation. Ricardo frequently checked in with Marcos, offering guidance and expressing his appreciation for Marcos's efforts. As the project neared its final stages, the team made significant progress. They successfully integrated the advanced mechanical solutions into the product line, and the prototype was ready for a new round of testing and evaluation. The work was far from over, but the project was moving closer to its goals. Ricardo organized a high-profile launch event to showcase the new product line and demonstrate the company's innovative capabilities. Marcos was given the opportunity to lead the presentation, sharing the details of the project and the breakthroughs achieved. The event was a major success, drawing attention from industry leaders, potential clients, and media outlets. The positive reception and feedback highlighted the impact of Marcos's work and underscored his role in the company's success. Throughout the project, Marcos had also been working on his personal dream of opening his own workshop. The skills and connections he had gained through his role at Ricardo's company were invaluable. He began to formulate a business plan, drawing on his experience and the insights he had gained from the industry. With the launch event behind him, Marcos felt a renewed sense of purpose and accomplishment. The successful completion of the project was a testament to his dedication and hard work. He was proud of what he had achieved and looked forward to the next chapter in his career. As Marcos prepared to take the next steps toward realizing his dream, he was grateful for the opportunities that Ricardo's company had provided. The experience had been transformative, offering him both professional growth and personal fulfillment. Marcos was excited about the future and eager to embrace the new challenges and opportunities that awaited him. As Marcos moved forward with his career, the culmination of his hard work and dedication began to manifest in significant ways. The success of the recent project and the positive recognition from the industry had solidified his reputation as a capable and innovative professional. With the launch event behind him, Marcos was now in a position to focus on his long-term dream, opening his own workshop. Marcos spent the following weeks drafting a detailed business plan for his workshop. He combined his technical expertise with the insights he had gained from his role at Ricardo's company. His plan included everything from the scope of services to the layout of the workshop and strategies for attracting clients. Marcos was meticulous in ensuring that every aspect of the business plan was well thought out, drawing on his experience in managing projects and leading teams. To secure funding for his new venture, Marcos reached out to potential investors and financial institutions. He used the success of the recent project at Ricardo's company as a key selling point, demonstrating his ability to deliver results and manage complex projects. He also sought advice from mentors and colleagues who had experience in starting their own businesses. Their insights and encouragement were invaluable as he navigated the process of securing financing. Ricardo continued to be a supportive mentor throughout this period. Recognizing Marcos's dedication and the potential of his business idea, Ricardo offered to provide a financial investment to help get the workshop off the ground. He believed in Marcos's vision and wanted to support him in achieving his goals. This gesture was a testament to the strong professional relationship and mutual respect that had developed between them. With the funding secured, Marcos began the process of setting up his workshop. He found a suitable location and began the renovations needed to create an efficient and functional workspace. The process was exciting but also demanding, requiring careful planning and coordination. Marcos was deeply involved in every aspect, from selecting equipment to designing the layout of the workshop. As the workshop neared completion, Marcos focused on building a brand and marketing his services. He created a website, developed promotional materials, and started reaching out to potential clients. Marcos leveraged his network of industry contacts, including those he had made at Ricardo's company, to generate interest and build a client base. The opening day of the workshop was a significant milestone for Marcos. He organized a small launch event to celebrate the occasion and invited friends, family, and industry colleagues. The event was a success, and the positive feedback from attendees was encouraging. Marcos was thrilled to see his vision come to life and was excited about the opportunities that lay ahead. With the workshop now operational, Marcos began to focus on delivering high-quality services to his clients. He was committed to maintaining the same level of excellence that had characterized his work at Ricardo's company. The initial response from clients was positive, and Marcos was determined to build a strong reputation for his workshop. In the months that followed, Marcos's workshop continued to grow and thrive. The experience he gained at Ricardo's company proved invaluable, and he used his skills to solve complex problems and deliver innovative solutions. The workshop became known for its quality work and reliable service, attracting a steady stream of clients. Marcos also continued to foster his professional relationship with Ricardo. They maintained regular contact, and Ricardo provided occasional advice and support as needed. The collaboration between them remained strong, and Ricardo's ongoing encouragement was a source of motivation for Marcos. As Marcos looked back on his journey, he felt a deep sense of accomplishment. The path from helping Ricardo with his broken-down car to running his own successful workshop had been challenging but incredibly rewarding. The opportunity provided by Ricardo had been a turning point in his life, and Marcos was grateful for the chance to achieve his dreams. With his workshop thriving and his career on an upward trajectory, Marcos was excited about the future. He remained focused on continuing to grow his business, explore new opportunities, and contribute to the industry he was passionate about. The journey had been a testament to his resilience, hard work, and the power of seizing unexpected opportunities.